السابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان.
And all the gates of paradise are open wide and not a single one is closed. And the shayateen, they are chained. So what remains? What remains is you. What will you do? What is the effect that you have brought into the month of Ramadan? Will you bring the influence of the devils and the shayateen into the month of Ramadan with you? Or will you change? Will you better yourself? What will you do in the month of Ramadan? Will you take benefit of this night of Laylatul Qadr? And the beauty of Laylatul Qadr is you don't know which night it is. In the most correct saying of the scholars, that you don't know which night Laylatul Qadr is. In fact, the scholars have over 20 various opinions of Laylatul Qadr. Some of them saying it could stretch from the beginning of Ramadan to the end of Ramadan, any night. And then some of them saying that it is in the last 10 nights, which is of course the most authoritative opinion, based upon the text of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ when he said to the companions, seek it in the last 10. So that clears the fact that it is in the last 10. Then the Prophet ﷺ, he said, seek it in the odd nights of the 10. Then there is a difference of the scholars as to what constitutes an odd night and an even night. Does it begin as you work into Ramadan, or is it as you count back? Because the Prophet ﷺ said the last 10. So what does it mean by the last 10? Odd from the end of Ramadan, working backwards, or from the beginning of Ramadan, working forwards. Then the scholars, they mention, seek it in the last 7. Is it in the odd? Is it in the even? Because the Prophet ﷺ said, seek it in the last 10. In a narration, seek it in the last 7. In a narration, seek it in the odd nights of the last 10. So the scholars have mentioned, why did the Prophet ﷺ not tell you which night it is particularly or specifically? The reason being is so that you may strive to seek it out. The Prophet ﷺ, in a narration, and I'm sure all of you hear this every single year, that the Prophet ﷺ in the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan used to tighten the waist sheet, the izar, meaning that he used to keep away from relationships with his wives. And, of course, literally tie the waist sheet and get up and wake up his family in the last 10 nights of the month of Ramadan, seeking out Laylatul Qadr. So all through these nights he used to come, the Prophet ﷺ, worshipping and worshipping. Some of the narrations mentioning not even sleeping.